What's up, everybody? Boston John here. Uh, I'm going to do a little interview session here. I have a friend of mine, a very dear friend, lady friend. She's going to ask me some questions, and this is not scripted. Like I've seen that we tried this. No, we're not doing takes. We recorded twice already. 10 questions. She's got to do what, three or four, six, whatever. The answer's always going to be the same, just in different details. So fuck it. We're going to take it from the top, and this is not scripted. So she's going to ask me questions, and I'm going to answer them honestly, and drink a beer in the process, and maybe eat a keto or two, seeing the fact that we're on vacation, so to speak. And no, we're not in fucking Mexico eating taquitos. We're in Virginia eating taquitos, but it's still a nice little vacation area. We're in Macedon chilling out. All right, so the interview of Boston John, whatever. As I do the Randy Orton. Oh. All
Okay,
right,
John.
all right. So let's do it. What we got?
What is one place on your bucket list that you've always wanted to go and why?
Well, Hawaii is the obvious answer, and I've been there. This is now. I'm going to give a second answer. All right. So Hawaii, yes, I would love to go to Hawaii. I know people that have been there, that have lived there. One dude I used to work with, he went out there, slept in a fucking tent, and he even told people, dude, I'd rather be homeless in Hawaii than go back to Virginia. And that was pretty profound for me. Though there was the same guy that went to Oregon and fucked up. Anyway, no, but still, so no, Hawaii definitely, just to experience it, obviously, but especially as a white guy, I want to experience the actual minority in a physical manner. Where when you go to Hawaii, you're actually the minority as a white guy. And I know women are probably sitting there right now, oh, what about white women? Nah, everybody loves women. Shut the fuck up. As a white man in Hawaii, you are the minority because for whatever reason they got the spam out there. I want to try the different flavors of spam. I want to see Waikiki, Honolulu, Maui, the whole nine. I want to actually put on an outfit and dick around and move some shit around like a bellboy in Maui for whoever the fuck, McConaughey, whatever. Now I love to do it. It's on my bucket list. I love to do it, and that's the reason why Hawaii and why. We'll get to Australia at another time.
What are some places you've already been that are your favorites?
All right, number one is always, without question, anybody who's watching, fucking Vegas, baby, Las Vegas. I go back any chance I get. I have a good time there. Seattle would probably be number two. Seattle, Washington. Loved it out there. I lived there for a couple of years. It was a good time. Had a lot of fun. Met a lot of great people. Did a lot of great things with the Seahawks and the Mariners and the Sounders. A lot of people were like, "Oh, you didn't do all that." No, I fucking did. So I got paid for it too. But otherwise, Texas. I've been to Texas. I would love to go back. Drove through Austin. Saw Dallas for short time. Houston with all the crazy shit they had going on there. Never went to San Antonio. I think it'd be cool to go down to Texas and actually do the tourist thing again. Been to Chicago one time too, but never actually did the tourist thing because I was partying when I did all this traveling back then in my early 20s. I was partying. I was just not getting fucked up aimlessly. Just like, hey, fuck it, let's hit the road and go here. Well, fuck it, let's do it. Pop a pill, take a line, let's get a drink, hit the road. So we did. We had a good time, and thankfully none of us came out of it, dead. So I'd love to go back to Texas all the way around the board. I know it's a big ass state. California, I've been out there in Florida as well. I'd love to get back. Atlantic City, that's kind of a frequent thing. But yeah, I'd love to get back. Like Seattle, I would like to go back and spend like a few weeks in Seattle because I spent so much time there and meeting people. I'd love to go back and actually be able to hang out with them and see their kids. One friend of mine out there, he has a kid that's probably like a year and a half now. So it'd be cool to get, and I got another friend that's getting married to a girl I introduced him to, and it'd be cool to go back and do all that for a few weeks, and any other places as well. So that's the end of that answer before I go too far. What we got?
What would you say defines Boston John?
Oh, Boston John. Boston John is all right. What defines Boston John? All right. I answered this question earlier, and I don't know if I missed it or not. Boston John's an asshole. He's a jackass. He's an entertainer. He's a I don't give a fuck oh shit guy. Like, oh shit, he really just said that. He really just did that. He's the rounder, man. He's the guy that goes out, and I know I'm not speaking third person, but it's Boston John is an image. All right, so Boston John, but defined is the party guy that goes out and does all this crazy wild stuff and has a good time and takes pictures and selfies and puts it all over social media. That's Boston John, the guy that people actually enjoy liking. You love him or hate him. So that's Boston John.
And so, how is Boston John different than John Malinzak?
How is Boston John different from John Malinzak? John Malinzak is a person. He's me. That's I'm John Malinzak. Pleasure to meet you. Now, John Malinzak's a person. He's just a guy that works hard, grinds his leather ass off, tries to make people happy that he loves, that he cares about. The guy that if you call him spur of the moment, he'll come help you move. He'll show up and support you. He'll do whatever he can fucking do for you, as a great friend and a great person. Um, as compared to Boston John, who is the image, the jackass, like the true jackass. Like John Malinzak, me, yeah, I say a lot of fucked up shit, but and I go out and do my thing. But it's different. Like there's the show, which is Boston John. That's the videos and yada yada. And then there's John Malinzak, who is me. But well, people actually trust me to hold their children and babysit their dogs. Boston John, I wouldn't trust that motherfucker with anything, to be honest with you. But anyway, so that's the difference between is John Malinzak's an actual person, an individual, and Boston John is it's an image. It's an image.
What hurdles have you faced growing up, and what hurdles do you face today?
Ooh, growing up, I faced pretty much any hurdle you could think of. Um, I was a white kid growing up in black neighborhoods, predominantly black neighborhoods, and it was during bad times in the early mid '90s. Yeah, every hurdle you can think of. Being poor, being in poverty, not knowing what the fuck the world was outside of my front door and that little bit of yard that we got to walk around or whatever. A lot of hurdles, man. Having to buy books in the city just to go to school and not being able to afford it. So then you couldn't actually be in the class because you didn't have the book. So it's like, so it was kind of I was forced out of education and the availability to a lot of things. Those were hurdles growing up. And what was the second part? I'm sorry.
What hurdles do you face today?
The hurdles I face today are well, there's there's just as many, if not more. What I do for a living, what I do as far as being an entertainer who is capable of doing stand-up comedy, and I'm an MC. I can MC shows. I can deal casino games for my casinos, all that jazz. The hurdles I face today is finding work, finding gigs, and then getting to the gigs. Because when you do what I do now, currently, it doesn't happen in the same place. It's different every day. And it's not every day either. It's like what we got today, and then we got like next week, and then we got two in a week, and then we got three in a week. As far as gigs, it's the hurdles I face is like trying to find transportation when I don't own a car, trying to work with people who, sometimes you're working with strangers, sometimes you're not, and trying to make sure that everything is in line between your personal life and what you're doing as gigs, and going to different towns on a regular basis. Spending all hours of the day and night just trying to figure it out, and then trying to find sleep in the meantime as well. So alcohol and marijuana do help, and a lot of nicotine as well. It does assist in the process of kind of grinding it through and getting it done the best you can. And also, working with other people who don't like you. As an entertainer, everybody has a different style of entertainment, whether it be a different style of music to another style like R&B versus country, or like my style of comedy. Like I'm a nasty, raunchy motherfucker, and that's what I do. And then there's other people that are very clean and they're very family friendly and shit like that. And, I say shit like I don't mean it in a bad way, in a rude manner. But it's difficult. Like those are the hurdles. Every day is a hurdle, no matter what. But yeah, those are the hurdles I face now. So,
Any regrets?
oh, a lot of, 'em, a lot of 'em. But the one regret I have the most is not taking time to learn where I've been. Because in my travels when I was younger and I was fucking around, and I don't say doing drugs like I was just doing drugs. Like I wasn't just doing drugs. Fuck, I was selling drugs. I was doing drugs. I was going all over the place, in different states and whatever. My biggest regret is in all my travels while partying all the time, I never really took the time to learn where I'm at and what's here. I didn't do the tourist thing, the tourist thing, and check out the history of the actual areas that I've been. There's lots of places I've been to that I don't remember shit except being there. Like Colorado Springs is a prime example. I remember the certain areas that I was in 2005, but I never took the time to go downtown and look at the monuments and check out the deals where they tell you, well, this is who and this is how it happened, this is how Colorado Springs came to be. A lot of places I've been to. That's my main regret. I don't regret anything with like relationships and all that shit, whatever. I regret walking out on certain jobs the way I did because I was a fucking asshole at the time. And I don't take shit from anybody, still haven't, but still don't. But I do regret like walking out on certain jobs the way I did, and then and again like the travels and not learning where I'm at and just kind of being there for the moment, kind of like a scenester, hipster type person. I should have taken the time to learn where I was at and maybe taken the time to not say fuck you to the jobs that were paying good money. That's the best answer I got on that.
So if I were to ask you if you were able to change anything, from your past or have a do-over, would it be any different than what you just responded with?
Do overs? No. Change anything? No. I wouldn't change anything. Everybody said, a lot of people said, not everybody, but a lot of people say this and they don't actually mean it. Well, where I was and what I've been through has made me into what I am today. I'm actually a prime example and a fucking like a fact of, yeah, if I could change anything, I would change nothing because that's just the way it is. I've been through so much crazy shit in my younger days and then making bad decisions in my 20s when I was actually an adult and had the option to choose. Yeah, I made a lot of bad decisions, a lot of fucked up, but I wouldn't change anything. Regrets? Yeah, I regret not doing certain things when I have the opportunity, but change anything? Absolutely not. Because it did make me who I am today. It did give me that edge, that chip on my shoulder, the knowledge, the experience, the things I've learned, the people I've met. If I change one thing, that's gonna fuck up the whole everything that happens after that. Like the time, space, and all that bullshit. No, I don't change anything. I appreciate and respect everywhere I've been and what I've done, the good and bad decisions, the people that I fucked over and the people that fucked me over, and all the bad stuff. I don't regret any of it, and I wouldn't change any of it because it literally does make us, and it makes me especially, what we are at this current time. And it literally does. Because if I change anything, like I said, what happens? The ripple, and who fucking knows?
What
I'm
would
good where I'm at.
what would you say are your worst and your best qualities in that order?
Oh, my worst quality is confidence, uh, confidence, speed, aggressiveness. I mean, there's a lot of bad and horrible qualities that I have. But on the other hand, they're the same. It's two in the same because on the other hand, being fast, being attentive, being aggressive gets it going too. The biggest weakness is being standoffish. That's the fucked up. I'm so standoffish unconsciously and subconsciously, not even knowing, not even realizing that I'm standing off against people. I'm extremely defensive at times. Like certain things are said, and it just triggers where it's like "fuck you too" type deal. And I'm working hard on laying off of that shit and getting it better. My best qualities are, ironically enough, patience, patience, which I've learned over the years in a very very bruising way. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, my strongest suit, whatever. My strongest quality would be not changing anything and moving forward without regretting and not letting things hang over my head. Just fuck it. just keep going, and as long as we're on the straight path, new things will come up and things will continue to progress. As far as the bad end, I'm an asshole at times. I'm a dickhead at times. I'm aggressive. I'm intense. I'm fast. I that's kind of so on both ends. It's kind of two in the same in the coin. So
Did you have a role model or someone that you admired most when you were growing up?
I had yeah, sports wise, being a Boston kid, you love Larry Bird, and you love fucking Ted Williams and Yaz and all these cats, Grogan and Tippett, you know, a lot of players, Cam Neely, from all the Boston teams. But I guess stand-up comedians, honestly, because when I was a kid, this is no bullshit. When I was a kid, my sister, but first of all, my uncle, my pop, and my mom, my ma, we used to listen to LPs, and a lot of people don't know what LPs are. They used to have this big ass box where you lift the lid, and there's an LP, and you would put a big ass disc there. We would listen to like Lenny Bruce and fucking Carlin and Red Fox and Pryor and all kinds of motherfuckers. And then when the VHS days came around in beta, so stand-up comedians, an accumulation of what went on between from the 70s to the 80s, that became like the Eddie Murphy Raw to me was just that's why I drink and get fucked up on Sunday. I don't get fucked up intentionally. I just drink all day on Sunday because that's my day. Eddie Murphy Raw when he talks about his dad. It kind of inspired me to do that. That was 1987, folks. I was like fucking 10. All right, not even. But when I turned 13 in 92 or whatever, it started to trigger. Inspirations as far as like outside, the inspirations to do what I do now. I'm like I should have started doing the shit way earlier. But again, no regrets and no don't change anything because who would I be now if I did? Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was the biggest influence to me because he had an idea and a hope that it's so fucking sad that people don't see it now and they reference it like, oh well, Martin Luther King, MLK, and all this shit. Fuck you. You weren't. Nobody was there that's still alive. I don't think. Like he was. Back. Well, the DC thing. It's like millions of people and white, black, whatever. Nobody fucking cared. But he had a great thing, and I actually won a contest at a black Laburnum Elementary School in Richmond, Virginia. Laburnum Elementary. Um, they had a contest with like these. There's like a white construction paper, and it was like a black construction paper with like a cutout, like a profile of four different individuals. And if I remember correctly, it was like Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Edison, or Thomas Jefferson, and then Martin Luther King. And I won the contest. You had to guess them all, and I guessed Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And they were blown away that the white kid he came up with that. It's like, well, yeah, this is like fourth, fifth grade. It was insane. So my biggest inspiration as far as life and philosophy is MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. I actually had a portrait that I found when I was in Colorado that was taken to him in Denver, and I gave it to DC Summer, Chef DC that I used to work with, and I kind of regret giving it to him. Here's another regret. I regret giving it to him because I told him, I said, look, I will give this to you. It wasn't framed, but it mint condition, plastic over it. I said, I'm going to give it to you, but you got to promise me that you're going to have this thing fucking, framed up and mounted over your fireplace. I don't know if he ever did it. Doesn't matter now. I do regret not having that photo. All right, what else we got? Sorry, I dragged that question out a little bit. I apologize.
What do you ultimately want out of life?
Ooh, to not die in a fire. No, I don't know. I want to die a happy, man. That's pretty much a brass tacks of that. When I was in high school, Mr. Basco, guidance counselor, he posed that question: what's your ultimate goal in life? And I said to die a happy man. Um, Whatever comes with that, dying a happy man. I don't I don't want to be a millionaire. It'd be cool. I don't want to be a superstar. I don't need all that. You know, I don't need to be on fucking TV and all that jazz. It would be really cool if it was, if I was and all that jazz. But ultimate goal is to die a happy man. You know, and my opinion of dying a happy man, my take on it is, I know that I've done the right thing the best way I could the entire time I had on this planet. And then when I go, nobody's pissed off at me and everybody's happy and well, yeah, he was a good guy. He was all right. He was a decent person. He did the right thing. And that's I don't look for anything, but that's it. Die a happy man.
I don't know that I really heard the definition of happiness and all of that.
Happiness. Well, you didn't ask about happiness.
Well, like, what would define a happy man? I mean, what defines happiness to you?
Peace. Everybody being at peace around me and with me being at peace. I'm not talking about war and all that shit. No, I'm talking about like being at peace to where when I die, I know that I have played devil's advocate on both ends of any debate, any conversation, whatever it would be, sports, political, religious, whatever, especially with social media these days, to help people see that there's really no difference between what we do and how we are. It's just look past, look behind the curtain. So when you see something on TV, I hope that I can influence people enough that when they see something on TV or they see something on social media and they jump on it, like, oh, this, that. Okay, but what's behind the curtain? To go to reach deeper, to help influence people when I die, which is inevitable. It's gonna happen at some point in time. Not tonight. Sorry for all you haters who want me to die tonight. Ain't gonna happen. Unless I have a heart attack, which wait. Nah, but back at it. Um, that I can help to influence people to look beyond what's right there in their face. You know, like if I tell you spam is black, it's a black colored meat, half the population on social media would fucking believe that, and the other half would say, "No, I've seen spam. It's and you know, so like that type of deal. Like bologna actually used to have the red rings around it, and now they don't have the red rings anymore. And people thought there were no red rings. Like no, there really were red rings. So like look at, do your research, look up facts, fact, make your debates on facts, facts. You know, live your life by facts, not by what people tell you you should do. I hope that I can influence people enough with what I do and how I live my life. And social media is a great catalyst to help me project what I do out there without preaching and like a fucking pastor to people, but just to look beyond what's in your face and go out and experience things and take it slow because the faster you live, the faster the time goes away. Take it slow. Time's going to tick the same way whether you're moving fast or moving slow. That watch, like my watch, is still going to tick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 seconds. My clock, my watch, everything's going to tick the same way. So take your time and actually learn what you're doing. Don't make the mistakes that I've made. Learn from the stories I tell people that I tell you guys and I tell people. I hope that I can have that influence on people at some point in time in the future to where they actually live their life and don't limit themselves. Go out and learn new things and don't look at other cultures and other people like they're odd. Yes, they are odd. They're different to you. They're alien to you, but learn from them. Like why do people do certain things and why do they do this? Okay, so it's a different culture. Like certain people walk around barefoot all the time. They would take their shoes off at the door. Well, in Japan, there's a reason for that. They sleep on the floor on beaded mattresses. But not a lot of people know that because they haven't taken the time to actually. Not everybody can experience it by going there, but at least learn and be attentive and be open minded to other cultures and other races. And well, there's only two genders. Well, apparently there's three now. That's a joke, but it's real. It's a joke, but it's real. No, so just learn and don't limit yourself. You know, go out and learn more stuff and learn more shit. And, you know, just it, absorb information, absorb the world around you, and don't sit around on your fucking laptop or your phone jerking off all goddamn day. You know, that's anyway. Before I go too far with all that, just I hope that I can influence people to not limit themselves and to find peace within themselves and with and with others, because there's no reason to hate the guy next door unless he shits in your yard. There's really no big deal about it to me. I hope that more people can have that peaceful sensation, like that mindset that just find peace. Find peace within yourself and accept people for who they are, and stay away from the ones you don't like. That's pretty. It's a very simple process. Uh, it's not that difficult. Anyway, sorry.
So am I hearing you say you want to be a role model in that respect?
Ooh, role model. Sure. Yeah, sure. If people will view, especially children, if they will view, because children, they don't understand what the fuck I do. They're not adapted to that quite yet. I would love, absolutely love to be a role model, image wise, to a lot of people. People that don't have the opportunity to be able to learn from others. Like they're kind of stuck in like whatever they're doing. It's like a Big Brother program. I'm not going to join the Big Brother program, but I would love to be able to like find it, just like kind of see a kid somewhere or a person somewhere, adult, female, male, whatever, that's just kind of looks kind of lost and just doesn't really know their way. I have a few younger gentlemen and one younger lady. They're like 16 to like 23 between the three or four of them, and they look to me for advice. They ask me for advice, and it's extremely flattering. It's extremely flattering. But I can tell that they want to do great things with their life. They want to do things that they want to exceed, not exceed so much, but be above and beyond. They want to slip through the cracks and get away, get through all the just the bullshit that you see on TV and news, and social media. It's like, God, can I just crawl through this shit? And a lot of people feel lost, like they're in a fucking cave and they got to climb 150 miles out with no help. It's just keep it pushing, keep strive to be great, and just make sure you do it the right way. I don't. So being a role model, if what I do and the way I lead my life, which I would, I think I live my life in a righteous way. Um, I know I do a lot of weird, wild shit from time to time. That's just anybody who wants to enjoy themselves from time to time. But I don't wrong anybody, and I make sure that I'm loyal, I'm honest, and I don't fuck up. I make mistakes, but I don't fuck up. And if that's what I can give to other people as a role model, so that they know, dude, the world's going to be hard anyway. So just don't just make the best of it. Well, I'm just going to make the best of it right now and just have this. No, 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 make the best of it. And when I say make the best of it, I mean like take what you have and utilize your position and what you have and put it together and find a way to progress forward and put it together and keep moving forward in a positive and progressive manner. So if I can be a role model in that and from that aspect, absolutely, absolutely. Is that the last question?
That's all the questions I have for you today.
All
You
right, well
can call
that's
me
it.
back.
I know I dragged out the last little bit of it. Honest questions, Boston John, my lady friend over here, she did a great job, and thank you so much for helping me out with that. And like I said, keep it pushing. Just be honest with yourselves and all that jazz and all that shit. I'm not gonna try to be too philosophical or preach to you. 'Cause I'm gonna fucking pass. I don't do the religion thing or the political thing and yada yada. Anyway, take it light. Love you. Peace out.